Welcome back to Julie's Wreath Boutique. Okay, guys, listen, if you're in the United States, we just celebrated Thanksgiving. It's 2024 and we're all tired, right? We're all ready to just sit back. So I'm going to take a kind of a week off here. Not really, but sort of, because I'm going to just share me making this bow. It took less than 10 minutes and I go into detail. So let's make a glam bow by hand. Okay, you guys have been asking for this and we're going to do a real-time bow instructional video. So we've got 4 ribbons that I just have in my stash, and we are going to use this 4-inch, this 2.5 inch, 1.5 inch, and then 7/8 ribbon. And all of this ribbon has wire in it. I recommend wire, but I want to show you how easy it is to make a bow without, you know, having too much forethought in it. So what you're going to do is you're always going to start off with a tail. So I want a good tail, so I'm doing about, a 14-inch tail. This is where you're going to gather your ribbon, okay? So here we're going to do is we are going to measure from this point that I gathered. This is where your bow loop starts. I'm going to gather 12 inches, okay? 12 here to 12 here. Bring together, hold it. We're going to measure another 12 inches, bring it back, and I want to do this 2 more times. So we'll have a total of 4 loops, and we're going to keep it the same. I'm not worried that that's all kind of janky there. It's okay. And we'll come back. All right. So we've come back. This is where it gets really simple. I want you to take a zip tie and zip tie this together. Okay. Zip ties are your friend in crafting, and you really should get some. I have really good ones on the Amazon storefront. I'm going to just take that, and now we need to cut the other tail. So I'm just going to measure it with what I have already, and we're going to cut this. I'm not worried that it's cut too far or too short. Okay, we can fix that in the end. Then you're going to just take your bow, and if you need to straighten out your ribbon loops, that's fine. Here's the thing, we're gonna just twist and shape these loops and make them go in the direction that we want. This is why wired ribbon is so important. It's so much easier to use than not using wired ribbon, okay? So we're gonna put this to the side. Then we're gonna take our next ribbon, and this is a solid ribbon. I'm gonna take about the same length in a, I'm gonna cut this actually. The same length for a tail. I'm going to gather, but instead of 12 inches, I want to do 10 inches, okay? So we're going to do 10 inches, come to the middle, do 10 inches again, come to the middle again. I'm not worried about that. 10 inches, come to the middle. We're going to fix the loops, okay? 10 inches, come to the middle. What is the main thing here is that we're keeping everything uniform with how many loops we're doing and on the inches. So let's just go ahead. I want to do 2 more loops. So you can even change this, and if you want to do this, you can do that, and you just kind of twist your bow to where you want it. And I'm going to put it there. So what am I going to do? I'm going to grab one more zip tie. I'm going to straighten this one out a little bit. Okay, put one right there. Hook that up. All right. We're going to measure the same tail. I'm going to go back through, and we're going to fix our loops, okay? So fix your loops, and then just twist them the way you want. It's just the ribbon is workable. If you get good ribbon, you're really going to do a beautiful bow. It's hard to mess it up, right? All right. Oops, this one doesn't want to work with me, but we'll make it work. Okay. So we're going to put this and step it to the side. All right. The next one we're going to use is this gold ribbon. Now we're going to do the same length for a tail. I don't want to cut that yet. And instead of 10 inches, we're going to go to the 8-inch. All right. 1, oops, 2, 3, it doesn't matter which way you do it. I'm just gonna like just measure it about 8 inches. 4. All right, let's do just 4 of these. Take another zip tie. Yes, we're using a lot of zip ties. That's okay. Okay, this is how easy it is to put a gut bow together if you do it separately like this. Okay, cut that. I'm going to make sure that this tail comes down. Cut that. All right, so the last one we're going to use is this really pretty 7/8 inch ribbon. I really love the bigger to the smaller, so we're going to start off with about the same amount of tail. Going to pinch it here. Okay, it gets a little bit harder when it's a little one, but so we did 12 for the big one, 10 for the red and gold, and then 8 for the gold. So now we're going to go to 6. All right, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. You just have to twist and bend to make sure that the right side is showing. That's all there is to it. Okay, cut this one. So we did 2 loops on both sides. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab all of my bows now, because now we're going to put them all together. We're going to layer them like so. All right, I'm going to put this red one right over top. I'm going to separate my tails to make sure we have the right tails going the right direction. Here, let's move this one over here. Take one more zip tie, and I'm going to lay it over the middle here. And we're just going to bring it to the back. Now, I'm not going to do this all the way. Here's the key, all right? Because we got to be able to put our bow on the tree or wherever your garland. So I'm going to take a piece of wire. I'm going to go underneath that zip tie. And now I'm going to make sure that's nice and tight, okay? Looks like I got one that's showing here, so let's clip that. All right. And then you're going to go through and you're just going to fluff your bows. You're going to make sure that all your loops are in the right direction, and then you're going to cut your dovetails. All right. One last little step we are going to do before we go here is we're going to take a piece of the red again. Probably didn't need quite that much, but I'm going to fold it over like so. Okay, see that? I'm going to go over the middle here. All right, bring it back, and I'm going to cut this little zip tie out. Okay, I've got one wire here, but since this is such a thin bow or ribbon, I'm going to do this. Okay, I'm going to cut those. I'm going to do this to make sure it all stays put. All right, so now we have a really cute bow here. And now what's left is to cut your ribbon lengths. Now you can see we're all different sizes, so let's do this. Let's cut them all the same size roughly. And then all you're going to do is I'm going to layer these like so. I'm going to bend them over or fold them over, and then I'm going to do a little dovetail. Let's do that again. Do the big one by itself here. This would be beautiful for a present, for a wreath, for your tree. You can go as big as you wanted to. Just know that you want to start with the bigger ribbon in the background and work your way to the front. You could do 3 ribbons and that would be fine too, 2. Or do this with all the same ribbon and just do different lengths. So that is your bow. And how easy was that?
Thank you so much for watching this week's video. Leave me a bow in the comments if you watched all the way through. And next week we'll be here at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with a brand new project. And I think you're going to be excited. It's called a busted canvas craft. and I can't wait to share it with you. See you next week.